What's up? What's up? This is Mr. Gray from the Care Center, room 701 West. What's going on? This is such a dope lesson that we're doing. The real thing that we're talking about is hope. All right, and we have this weird idea of what hope is, like it's wishing for something or dreaming of something, and that's really kind of the opposite of what hope really is. So this is what hope really is. It sets goals, like it has things in mind that I want to accomplish, right? And then I take action. That's what real hope is. Hope is not, like I said, wishing for something and then hope it comes to you. No, hope is setting goals, and then because I know that working towards those goals will make it happen, that creates more hope, right? So hope sets goals, hope works, hope takes actions, right? Hope then concentrates on small gains, small daily habits that I can do each day that I can get a little bit better at. And then lastly, hope understands that things are difficult, right? It could be racism, sexism, anti-LGBTQ plus stuff. It could be money is tight. It could be I've never really had that much success at school. It could be my parents. It could be relationships, family, like grief and loss. Things are hard. Things are difficult. All right. But hope understands that I can, through work, through small daily habits and some other things that we're going to talk about, we can make things better and we will make things better. And actually, we must make things better. All right, so let's get into it really quick. One of the main things that we can do to build hope is to simply stop speaking negatively out loud and stop being negative. And as you'll see in that little box right there, this is not about pretending to be positive. This is simply stop being negative and stop being negative out loud, like stop speaking negatively out loud. And it's not eliminating negativity, because that's really impossible. I'm teaching this lesson. I'm learning as I'm teaching it because I have negative thoughts. I say mean things about myself out loud, but here's the skill. The skill is learning how to catch it and to minimize it. Let me show you some science behind this stuff. They did research at workplaces, and between the workplaces where there wasn't really any negative people, like people got along, and then the workplace where there was even just one or two negative people, the research showed that being negative, speaking negative actions are 40 to 70 times more powerful in the wrong way than not saying anything or learning how to let things go. As you see the little brain there. Why is this so hard? Because our brain's job is to keep us alive, but our brain actually goes to look for the negative. All right. So because it's our normal way of thinking and actually even acting in some ways of being negative, we have to learn to interrupt that stuff. We have to learn the skills that will help us not be acting on those negative thoughts, right? So what does that mean? It means we have to learn how to check ourselves on negative talk and negative beliefs about ourselves, about our situation, about our life. We have to check ourselves on our negative actions and our negative thoughts, obviously, right? And once again, as I said about myself, I have them. We all have them. But that doesn't mean they're true. Just because I have a negative thought doesn't mean it's true. It just means I'm having a negative thought. That's how my brain works. And now I know that I don't have to believe it. Look at the bottom. Complaining, worrying, gossiping, staying stuck in the past. Those are all negatives. Those create a lot of negativity. And we do a lot of it. We do a lot of it. Look over on the right, the really long box. They did some research. And they went out on the street and they asked people like, hey, how's your day going? Oh, really good. They found a bunch of people having a really dope day. And then they asked them, well, how much do you worry? Oh, I don't worry that much at all. Some, but not much. Okay, come in. They brought him in And they started like feeding them negative information, and they started feeding them negative things to start worrying about. And what happened within 10 or 15 minutes, just being fed all this negative stuff, they started worrying. Their day started getting worse. All right. Then they went out on the same area, and they've, you know, how people have that look on their face like everything's going wrong or whatever. They would talk to them and say, how's your day going? Oh, it's the worst. I can't believe how bad my day is. And it's just one day after the other. Well, how much do you worry? I worry all the time. That's like I'm a professional worrier. I mean, they're not, but you know what I'm saying? Like they just worry all the time. So they brought those people in, and they taught them some basic skills of how to breathe properly and how to like interrupt their negative thoughts. And within 10 or 15 minutes, their negativity had diminished like exponentially. See, we think we don't have no power over this stuff, and we just think life happens to us. And that's not true. It's how we react to life. Okay? And hope is really a skill that we can build. All right? It's not like, oh, some people are born hopeful, some people are born optimistic. No, we can work on it. Okay? Unfortunately, our society is really good at complaining. Look at that over there, right? That's a long line, and it's typical. And gratitude is actually a skill that we can learn too, of living in gratitude, showing appreciation to other people for what they do. Being nice to myself is living in gratitude, okay? And why is that line so long? Because there's something scientifically called social contagion. There are also mirror neurons, but mostly it's social contagion, that when the energy around us is negative, then we join in. It's easier for us to join in. So when my friends or my circle of influence is like complaining or it's negativity all around me, then that influences me to be negative also. So that makes it really difficult to maybe be the first person in your group to start being hopeful. But that's what we're learning today. We can do this, all right? I want to show you that your mind is super powerful, right? Think about like the last time, it may even have been this morning or last night as you were trying to go to sleep. Last time you was worrying about something. And I want you to think that, and I know it's true because I do it, when you worry, can you see, like in your mind, can you see what you're worrying about? Can you see what you're worrying about happening? You can actually visualize it, right? Giving you a couple seconds because I know it's true. Yes, we can. We do that all the time. So when I ask people to like, look, I want you to visualize. I want you to see in your mind things going better. I want you to visualize, you know, that you studied hard for this test and that it's going to come out better than what you thought it was. Or, you know what I mean? Like things that you want to have happen, or treating people with respect. I see that through my mind's eye all the time. Like I have a little movie going in my head. And how do I know we could do that? Because I can do the negative. So we have to understand that we have more power, that when we worry and create that movie in our mind of the bad thing, that we can flip the script and start making the movie towards what I want to happen. You can see yourself creating what you want to happen. And I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. All right, this picture is everything, everything. Look over on the right. So these are diamonds, right? Diamonds represent like any goal or any dream that you have. It could be like grades. It could be money. It could be a career. It could be what college you're trying to get into. It could be just anything, right? So what did the dude do though at the bottom? He quit. He gave up, right? And how close was he? So close. So close. And that's actually how it is for all of us. But we look at things wrong. We lose hope, right? And why did he quit? He quit because he didn't get to where he thought his dream and goal was going to be at the time that he wanted. Or maybe the work was something, he wasn't really interested in how much work it was going to take. He just wanted that thing when he wanted it and how he wanted it, like in a time frame that fit his expectation, right? And that's a big problem because we put expectations on our goals and our dreams, that it's going to happen when we want it and how we want it. And that's the opposite of how to do it, right? So we have to get rid of those expectations and replace it with daily work, the daily intentions of, I believe that my hard work is going to pay off at some time, right? And that's a big part of hope. Let's replace the dude at the bottom is older and white like me, right? Let's replace him with a woman. Let's replace him with a person of color, a black person, Latinx, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native American, anybody, right, that has a difficult time in this country. Money's tight. That's a life difficulty regardless of your race. You get what I'm saying? Like someone passed within my family recently, or even, however long ago. Those are life's difficulties that when we focus on those, that keeps us from not moving forward and missing out on achieving what we're right there to get. Am I saying that we try and pretend those things aren't happening? No, they're real. Grief is real. Racism and sexism, they're real. People being anti-LGBTQ+, those are real. So it is difficult. I get it. All right. However, we can replace just focusing on that it's not going to happen with hope and belief. And how do we do that? The dude up at the top, he is more invested in those daily habits of working, those daily habits of showing appreciation for what I do have, right? And showing appreciation to those around me. That's real gratitude, right? And now I know that if I just keep working hard, and that I keep doing the best that I can, even when I mess up, that I will get where I'm trying to get. But what's dope is that while I'm getting there, I'm learning a bunch of cool stuff. I'm getting better at a bunch of stuff. And I don't even care at that point when I get to my goal or my dream, because I know eventually I'm going to get there. And I might get someplace even better than what my goal or dream is, because I'm allowing it to happen based on that I'm putting the work in. All right. And I can do things. I can figure stuff out, right? I will figure stuff out. Eventually, it may take some messing up, but I will get there. And the truth be told, I must get there, because my family, my future family, those around me, my community, we all need each other to not give up. So here's our checklist. How to have hope and use it. So number one, take small steps each day, right? And when you're taking these small steps each day, you're building new habits and new skills, and those create lifelong skills. You just learn stuff every day that's going to help you for your whole life. Like this lesson on hope. This is a real lifelong skill. Number two, check yourself before you wreck yourself, for real. Be self-aware when you are being negative. Be excited about small gains. Don't always think it has to be this big thing. It might be just a 1%. If you do better at whatever it is you're trying to get good at, if you get better 1% every day for a whole year, at the end of the year from when you started, you're 37 times better than you were from when you started. And be cool with learning from your mistakes. Number three, understand that life is difficult. Remember that worry, complaining, negativity does not improve the situation. None of that said pretend to be positive. None of that said pretend that everything is okay. No, it is understanding that there are things in this country, in this world, in my day, in my community that are difficult. But worrying and complaining and negativity doesn't improve it. But the other things do. Taking action, getting better, and then some of these other things. Remember, number four, remember that hope takes practice. It doesn't just happen, all right? Just like being negative takes practice. We practice that all the time, being negative. And it gets us right to where it's going to get us because we practice it. We have developed the skill of complaining, of worrying, because we practice it all the time. So we have to flip it. And number five, living in the power of gratitude. What does that mean? It means showing appreciation to others, letting them know you appreciate them, understanding what you do have is valuable, understanding what you do have is a blessing, as small as it may be. Living in the power of gratitude is loving yourself. It is lifting each other up. And when we do that, when we show appreciation, when we love ourselves, and when we lift each other up, that creates a culture of hope. And remember remember this. Now we put the line more over on the right, the gratitude line, because we've stopped, for the most part, all the other stuff. Remember, yeah, I do complain sometimes. Yeah, right? We all do. But I check myself before I wreck myself. Okay? And lastly, hope requires us to understand that we are stronger together. Working together is greater than being divided. And that's how we got to get down. So that's my hope lesson. It's a really quick one, but we got you. Asking for help is a superpower, and lifting others up is a superpower. Helping others. Man, we got this. All right, peace.